I often use the term classical Christianity, and people are curious sometimes what I'm talking about. I mean, it strikes me that it may be a self-explanatory, but it might be helpful for me to give a little detail. Classical Christianity, it is Christianity in the classical sense. That is, it is the kind of Christianity that has historically been characterized as orthodox. And here I mean small o orthodox, not the denomination of orthodoxy, but that has been held by Christians of all stripes from the very beginning. Now, in a way that this is a little bit of a tricky way of defining it, because when I say it is what has been held by Christians of all stripes, someone might say, well, wait a minute, Arius claimed to be a Christian, he didn't believe in the deity of Christ, and you're just excluding him based on your definition of Christianity, so who are you to say what Christianity is? Well, when I say classical Christianity, I'm not actually arguing at this point that my views about Christianity are true. I'm just identifying myself with a body of knowledge. That is, when people like Arius and, say, the Gnostics or other what have been considered heretical views have kind of popped up, that the church has responded as a group and has argued for a point of view. They didn't just get rid of people they didn't like. They didn't just burn books they were trying to ban. They argued for a point of view and established a point of view as being representative of primitive Christianity, and therefore the church is going to stand behind that. And these doctrines are foundational doctrines, so that the person and the work of Christ, the deity of Christ, the Trinity, the two natures of Christ, the substitutionary atonement, these are the kinds of things that were foundational to the early church and to the corporate body of Christ. And when there were competitors theologically, these were weighed in the balance and found wanting by the church and then rejected. Now, somebody might argue, well, they shouldn't have rejected those doctrines. The group was wrong and the minority was right. I'm not going to engage that argument right now because that's not really my point. All I'm simply saying is I position myself with the group, the classical Christians. So when I say I'm defending classical Christianity, I'm defending the kind of thing that represents a corporate belief between Roman Catholics and Orthodox and all kinds of Protestant denominations that are within the pale of Christianity proper. And I am not defending some other view that's outside of it. I'm not defending some narrow sectarian view within it. I'm defending what C.S. Lewis called mere Christianity. Now, once in a while, I'll weigh in with a more sectarian point of view on something, which is fine. But broadly, when I am out in the world, as it were, and defending Christianity, I want to defend the big thing, the main thing, the big narrative, the God, man, Jesus, cross, resurrection narrative, the things that all Christians have believed, the Apostles' Creed type stuff, rather than trying to argue for the particulars. If I'm making the case for Christianity with people on the outside, I want them to see the big picture and put their confidence in the Christ of the big narrative, and not to have to worry about the particulars and how you slice and dice the finer issues of theology. So this is what I mean when I talk about classical Christianity, and I think that when we represent Christianity to the rest of the world, that's the kind of Christianity we should represent to them.